Something deep inside of us knows what a human body is supposed to look like, and no amount of conditioning or propaganda is ever going to be able to convince people otherwise. It's jacked and lean for men, thin, big ass, big tits for women. And it's always going to be that way. And you know, people have preferences, but that's not going to change the fact that that is always going to be the ideal body type. And it doesn't matter how fat women get or how weak men get, because there is an objective standard of beauty. And that standard exists because of archetypes. And archetypes exist because of nature. Because nature and the struggle to survive nature has a way of perfectly shaping shit for its environment. And then once something becomes perfectly shaped for its environment, then a species emerges. And then that perfectly shaped version becomes the version from which all other versions are derived, and that's the archetype. And all beauty is just a measure of how close something is to its archetype. And that's why it's objective. And it's why every animal in nature is more or less beautiful, and almost no human in civilization is. The animals are still beautiful because the animals still live in the same conditions that produce their archetypes, but not us. We don't live in nature anymore, so as a result, it's really no longer able to shape us like it once was, and beauty is becoming less and less common. And because of that, the push to reclassify beauty as something more common and more attainable, it's already begun. But the good news is that it'll never fucking work, because the idea of beauty isn't subjective. It's an archetype. Sports Illustrated can do All-Trans-Lizzo swimsuit issues from now till fucking eternity, and it'll never move the needle 1 inch on the standard of beauty. Because the standard of beauty is not an opinion. It's an objective truth. How close are you to the archetype? And the further removed from nature we get, the further we get from those conditions that created our archetypal form, and the uglier and fucking fatter we keep getting.